Well, it rained last night. We had a nice little gentle rain, a couple hours worth, and guess what? That means up here on the roof, we might be able to find some micrometeorites. Here's how. There's meteorites falling all the time. Meteors come through the atmosphere and they break apart and they rain down all different kinds of sizes. And a lot of that ends up on your roof in very small amounts. But it's still up there, and after a rainstorm, a lot of those little micrometeorites are washed out of the atmosphere and all over the land, including on top of your roof. And where do they go? They come down your roof, into your gutter, and through the downspout, and end up down here. No, they're not going to be this big. And they're definitely not going to be this big. And they're definitely not going to be this big. These are all meteorites. But if you're lucky, you'll get meteorites, very tiny little micrometeorites, as you can see on this magnet. Debris from the roof is washed out of the downspouts and a lot of times gets caught in grassy areas and things like that. Here's a bunch of the stuff that got washed down probably last night off the roof. And within those little pieces down there might be some micrometeorites. How can you tell? One way would be to take a magnet and kind of go slowly over all the debris that came down from the rain gutter overnight during the rainstorm, and just kind of run the magnet back and forth down close to where the debris is located on the bottom here. Just kind of going back and forth. Don't touch the actual debris. If it's magnetic, it'll pop onto the magnet. Here we've got a few pieces there. Doesn't mean that they're all meteorites. There's a lot of magnetic material that could be up there. So what you got to do next is kind of look at the objects through a magnifying glass or a microscope and see if there's characteristics that show that it's been through entry through the atmosphere at a high temperature. Meteorites show certain characteristics. Another way to see if you've got meteorites on your roof is to take a garden hose and spray the roof. Make sure you put a little container or something down that captures the water coming out of the downspout. In that container, place a magnet where the water would come out of the downspout, bringing some of the debris off the roof. And if there's any magnetic particles, including little micrometeorites, they will catch right here on the magnet, and you can check them out later for the characteristics that can tell you if it is a meteorite or not. Okay, take your garden hose and just kind of shoot it and aim toward the roof. After you shot the water on the roof, the debris will go into the gutter, down the downspout, and be carried into the container. And you've got that magnet at the bottom of the container, hopefully capturing some micrometeorites. And then once it's all done, once the waters come down, you kind of get rid of the excess. And then check your magnet to see if it's got any little items on it. And here we can see there's some. Like I said, doesn't mean they're all micrometeorites. Now we'll just take them off one by one and check them out and see if we got some micrometeorites that came from space, through the atmosphere, and onto our roof. Isn't that fun? It's easy to do too. Have a lot of fun with that. These are some of the finds that I've got that came off my roof over probably a couple months time.